Hello, this is Dr. Ivy Dawson for Ivy Vine TV, and in this episode we're going to talk about love. Yes, you know it, L-O-V-E, love. Some good love and some horrible love. Are you ready to get into it? Minnie, are you ready to get into it? Let's go. Hello and welcome to Ivy Vine TV. If you have not hit the subscribe button, what is your problem? What are you waiting on? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for when new content comes to you. Today we're going to talk about love. There's all sorts of love, right? We have our family love, we have self-love, there is even romantic love. And today we're going to go into romantic love. Some of the good parts of romantic love, some of the not so good parts of romantic love. This video is for both men and women. I believe both sexes can gain some empowerment from it and to know what to do when love is healthy and when love is on some serious junk food. The Bible talks about love being patient, love being kind, love enduring all things. Love is a dynamic thing. And today, as we explore the romantic aspect of love, love endures all things in romantic partnerships. You meet a man meets a woman, they get to know one another, surface level things like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite movie, and you click and you connect in that way. Well, that's not the end all of love, because love, you've got to drill deep to understand a person more intimately. And I'm not talking about a sexual thing, because you need to understand who that person is before you have sex with that person. And I'm just being honest, because you can go and have sex first before you even get to know that person, and then you realize on the back end, oh wow, this person is not the person for me. I don't connect with this person on any deep level. This person is just not the right fit for me. Trust me, I know. Been there, done that. And here I am to let others know, please make sure you are getting to know one another before you head off to that part of the relationship. But love is patient. Love is not trying to rush to do something. You meet, like I said, you meet a person. I'm a woman, I meet a man. We get to know one another. We have our fun, we laugh, we giggle, but then we have to understand where our hearts are, where our minds are. How do we think? How do we move? How do we handle our affairs in life? Do we pay our bills? Do we clean our house? All of those things, all deep things that go beyond that surface level. Because when you're just chit-chatting with someone, you're getting to know them, you don't know their routine. You don't know how they operate. And so you've got to take your time to get to know that person, to see how they operate, to understand even what their intentions are for dating. Do they just want to just be dating and casually dating different people? Or are they looking for romance? Are they looking for romance to the place where they want to get married? And you have to have that conversation. You can't go willy-nilly and fall for somebody just because you went out on a nice date and you had a great time, and you went out on a second date and you had a great time. You've got to slow your roll. You can't go, oh gosh, she took me out to Ruth Chris, girl. I am in love. That is surface level stuff. And that is not the glue that's going to hold a relationship together, especially when that's when you want a long-term, committed, monogamous relationship. That sweet dinner, that expensive dinner is not it. You've got to have more out of the relationship. And then each partner has to be willing to give and willing to also compromise and get to a level of common ground. But that's just the beginning. That's just breaking the ice, the sweet dinner. Someone gives you some flowers or some candies and all those sweet things. They text you good morning or they text you good evening, and you start doing these sweet little cute things. It's wonderful, and you should keep those sweet things going. But just know You're going to have to take your time. You're going to have to get to know that person. You can't get all willy-nilly and get all crazy and loosey-goosey and then you are not paying attention to warning signs. You've got to understand, if you are looking for a sweet love, that sweet love that Anita Baker sung about, if you want that sweet love, you've got to slow it down. Be patient. As we talked about earlier, that love is patient, love is kind, love is enduring to the end. I think about my parents. They were, before my father died, he was the first to pass away, and it was about 50 years of them being romantically involved. Almost 50 years of wedded bliss. Now, me being a child in that household, we saw times where our parents were just so cute together. My dad would do this to my mom, and she would say, "Go on, Edward." She would always call him his middle name. "Go on, Edward." But that was just so cute. And yeah, you have to still be playful with your partner. And you have to show your children that love is a great thing. But then there are some times when my parents didn't agree. Did they hate each other? No. They disagreed with one another. And they had their disagreements. And they expressed to one another what they thought. They were not holding anything back. They loved one another, but they still were open to discuss and to say how they really felt about whatever situation that they disagreed on. They still loved one another because love endures to the end. Love is not always this fantasy that we put in our minds that it's always holding hands, it's always romantic dinner dates. That's part of the relationship and how to keep the relationship going. But you got to understand, when you hit a snag in your relationship, or when you disagree with your partner, how do you reset? How do you get things back on track again? How do you communicate? So communication skills are very important when you are in a relationship. You've got to let your partner know if something is bothering you. Back to my parents, they let one another know, and they had the sweetest love. And when my father passed away, my mom, of course, she was so heartbroken because her love, the love of her life, had left her. And she began this campaign to let other couples know to cherish the moments, because she, throughout those years of being married to my father, learned to cherish the moments with him. And so I'm going to carry on that tradition that she left behind when she passed away 4 years ago. I'm going to tell people to cherish the moments. Today we're talking about couples, romantic relationships, girlfriend, boyfriend relationships, marriages. Cherish the moments together, because love is patient, love is kind, love endures all things. Pure love is a marathon, right? Now let's slide over to the love bomb. And you may be, if you're unfamiliar with that term, you may be like, what is she talking about? Whew, child. A love bomb is a Usain Bolt sprint. It is a rush to get in, and then a rush to get back out. And you're like, oh gosh, the person who's been love bombed is like, oh my goodness, what just happened to me? So let's dig into what is a love bomb, and how do you know when you're being love bombed? A person who love bombs someone will quickly move into your life, quickly move out of your life. They are not there for love. They're there to fulfill whatever they want out of you. They're like leeches. They come to suck you dry. And if you are seriously looking for love and you feel that you deserve the love of your life, you are going to be magnetized in a way to the love bomber, because the love bomber is going to do the things that you feel are part of love. He or she, let me use this example, as I'm a woman and I'm just making a reference to it being a man love bombing a woman. But hey, fellas, you've got to be careful too. You good fellas out there. There are some women out here who are trying to love bomb you or may have already love bombed you. All right. But in this scenario, I'm just going to give like the man love bombing the woman. But clearly, we know it's the other way around, right? All right. So a man gets your phone number, ladies, and you're looking for love. You've been praying for a great relationship, a great guy to come into your life, and he gets your number. He calls you that day. He calls you the next day. He calls you every day, maybe 2 or 3 times that day, a day. And all of these things are going on. He makes you giggle. He says all the right things like he's looking for love. The relationship he had before just was not right. That person, that woman did A, Y, and Z to him, and he was heartbroken, and it took him a while to get over the hurt. And now he has met you, and you are just such a wonderful person. That person may take you out to an expensive restaurant. He may take you to Ruth Chris, for an example, or a romantic walk along the beach. Or just something just so candid and so intimate. Or they may say, meet me at Starbucks so we can get some lattes and talk to one another. I just want to look into your eyes. If you are that sincere person, that sincere woman, and you want that love of your life, your emotions are all up here. You are just, wow, you're on the phone with your girlfriends, you're on the video chats and the group chats with your girlfriends, just laying it on them how you met this nice guy and XYZ and ABC and all of these things, how he's so great. He's looking for love. He hasn't had a relationship in a long time, and he's just going on and on and on. And you're just up here. Up here. It's the bomb, right? You just singing around the house. You're so excited, right? By Saturday, that man has asked you to marry him, and you're like, oh my gosh, yes! Or, yes, I'm going to marry you, or that he asked you to marry you, or he asked to move into your house. And you readily just, yes, because we're going to be a couple. We are together. This is love. I found the love of my life. Then a month later, or 6 months later, or a year later, that person has sucked you dry financially, emotionally, psychologically, and you're just looking around like, oh my goodness, what just happened to me? Why did this happen to me? He was Prince Charming, and he turned out to be Freddy Krueger. At least Freddy Krueger is going to let you know he's a nightmare on Elm Street. There's no mystery with him. He's letting you know straight out the box who he is. A love bomber is not. They reveal their true colors as time goes on. Again, they're moving quickly into your life. They're moving quickly out of your life. A love bomber will ask you quickly for finances. They'll give you some hocus pocus, this crazy story about someone stealing their wallets, or they don't have any money, or their check hasn't come in yet, or just some kind of craziness. You've got to be off that high horse. You've got to come down off the emotional roller coaster to understand, before you get snagged by a love bomber, to understand they have an agenda. They're not there to love you and give you the love that you deserve. They're here. They're going to drain you dry until you're out there looking like a desert. They don't want you. They want what they can get out of you. That's what a love bomber does. It's important to understand and pay attention to warning signs, because a love bomber is going to get you if you are still up in this emotional place. You've got to come down. As my mom always told me, don't put all your eggs in a basket. And I would say, yeah, mama, okay. Talking about my past. And I would put all my eggs in a basket now, and then I end up being heartbroken. Why? Because I did not take the time to pay attention to red flags. You've got to pay attention. And you can't keep going through this same thing over and over and over. Like, when are you going to learn the lesson? You've got to pay attention to the flags. And you have to act accordingly. You've got to set your boundaries early on. You've got to set them. Listen, you're not moving in my house. No, I'm not marrying you. I don't even know you like that, dude. Or fellas, no, I'm not buying you a ring. I'm not giving you any money. I'm not buying that for you. I don't know anything about you. What kind of woman are you? Ladies, what kind of man are you? You got to slow down. Because if not, you're going to be love bombed. And then you're going to have to go through a healing process to get over that, because you have invested so much love of your love. You've given pure love. You've poured out yourself. You poured out your emotions. You've even poured out your intellect into this person. And now you have to regain your life back. But before going through all of that, you can just stop it. Because you know that there are flags flashing up and you just tend to ignore that. You can't ignore the flags. The flags are there for a reason. They call them red flags so that you can pay attention. Look at here. Look at here. It's like caution lights. You're driving down the road and then you see these caution lights. They're like right here, right here, right here. Pay attention because something is about to happen. And so if you're looking for pure love, you've got to pay attention. You can't be just all loosey-goosey with it. Oh gosh, this is my boo thing, and you're just so quick to let's post the picture on Facebook or Instagram. Forget all of that. Forget what other people are going to think about you and being impressed by you being in a relationship. You have got to slow down and pay attention, and it's all right to be by yourself. Well, there you have it. There is a dynamic difference between love and love bombing. Please don't get caught in the trap. Please don't get bombed on, because we know what a bomb does, right? It goes off. So please don't get caught up in that. Please take heed to what I stated in this video and just love yourself. Love is going to come to you. The love that you need and the love that you deserve. All right, until the next video.